Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Marriage, Marriage Mornings. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
Good morning. My name is Seth Studley. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, and today is day 70 of the Infinity Day Marriage Morning program. And today,
our title is Can We Do This Differently? And today's episode is brought to you by the Ultimate Intimacy app. Go to ultimateintimacy.com to check it out. It's amazing, and we're using it for Sexy Saturdays, and you'll learn more about that. You can check out those episodes. If you're new here, welcome. We do a podcast about marriage because we had a really crappy marriage.
That's right.
And we talk
about communication, we talk about sex, we talk about in-laws, family of origin.
all sorts of things.
Not fight. Right.
We have like 170 something episodes, so check them out. And we encourage y'all to do your marriage mornings with your partner. This is a fun way to connect each morning. It's quick. Sometimes you can do marriage afternoons or evenings if you don't have mornings together.
Just be intentional about it.
Don't start. But we're glad you're
so
here.
Mad at you.
Okay. And so we're going to do the 4 things that we always do every marriage morning. We're going to do a
Right.
prayer, a past gratitude, a future hope, and a goal. Do you want to pray?
That's right. I'll pray. All right. Thank you, Creator God, for your blessings. Thank you for this day and the sunshine. I pray that you be with our kids as they go to school, be with us as we drive around and go to work. God, I pray that you be with the people that are listening. I ask that it's helpful. Thank you for having it be helpful for us, and we hope it's helpful for people. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Past gratitude. I am thankful.
You wrote it on your hand.
I had to. I can't ever remember it. I'm thankful that you have flourished despite my poopy attitude.
Wow.
That you do the morning dip. You do all sorts of fun things that I have definitely been a total turd about. So
I have persevered.
I'm thankful that you have persevered.
Yeah. Well, okay. Thank you for being thankful for that and recognizing it. You know what that's called? That's called a growth mindset and being awesome. And you have really been awesome these last couple of years. And
is that your past gratitude?
It is a past gratitude.
Okay, then let's move on to future hope.
Thanks.
We can't talk for 100 hours. My future hope is that today is fun, that the kids have a great day at school, that I get lots of work done, and my goal is to get lots of work done.
Yes.
Loads and loads of work.
Future hope, get stuff done, work hard, walk upright as a man. That kind of sounds cheesy, but that is what I try to do every day. So
no big deal, man. No
I can talk about it later.
All right. So our topic is, can we do this differently? And that came from an email exchange that I had yesterday with somebody, and I loved it. It just sort of sparked into my mind this idea. And the email exchange was about, someone was going through something challenging. And I kind of put myself back into that space of when we were going through our hardest times.
Right.
And I was responding in this email with Seth told me I needed to go to therapy. That made me hate his guts. And I wish that instead of that, he would have said, X, Y, and Z things. And so that's how the idea came about. And I have listed.
Maybe I could have said it differently or something? Or what?
Yeah, but it's like the idea of, I got to read it and the board is down. So it says, instead of you saying that I need therapy,
right.
You could have said something like, I would like us to get stronger. Instead of you saying, you're never going to help me or something like that,
right.
You could have said, let's do this like a team.
So just a reframing of things like, hey, you need to go to therapy. And probably I would say that in fights or whatever. I could have said it differently. Like, I think that we would be helped if we went and talked to a professional. I think that we would be helped if we, had a standing coffee date with a friend or something.
And I'm definitely not saying that Seth was the only person who did this kind of thing. I was like the queen of, oh yeah, well you never do this, so
right. Yeah.
But what I could have done was actually told you what I needed. Like, hey, I would, but with optimistic strength and positivity. And that's kind of how can we do this, or can we do this differently? Because in our culture and in society, especially for women, well, actually, men are taught to be quiet and say nothing and hope that they can read their partner's mind. Often.
Do it alone. Yeah.
Women are often taught, just complain. Like that's in every TV show you see.
Right.
The mom is nagging the husband and blah, 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 blah. And so if we can look at all of that differently, can we do it differently? Whatever the it is.
Right.
Like, can we do this differently? So if I need you to, if I really feel like I need your help, how can I ask for your help differently in a way that's optimistic and strong and helpful?
Not blaming or
not
criticizing.
blaming. Yeah, that takes out blame and shame and fear and I guess blame is the best way to think about it. But does that make sense?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I think that's asking the question, can we do it differently? We have to know what we want first.
And we also have to know what we're doing wrong first.
That's right. And we have to be willing to kind of go in and like introspectively look, hey, what's up, Jeff? Introspectively look at what we're doing wrong, what we could be doing better, and be honest with ourselves. I think that you really had a hard time hearing criticism that was actually honest, especially from me, right?
Yeah.
And maybe even from friends. I remember even like having arguments and stuff, and you're like, kind of just arguing against because you didn't want to hear it, right? And we don't want to hear what we're not doing right because that's hurtful.
And let me say it like this: is after doing the Enneagram stuff, it's like you could have brought those same problems to me, but if you had reframed them into like, this is something we're gonna kill together, it's gonna be rad, we're gonna do this, I would have been like, yeah. But because you were like, oh, you're really poopy, you're negative, you're mean, did you know that? You should go get therapy.
Right.
I'm a therapist, I know. Ooh.
Right. So that was non-constructive criticism, right?
Yeah, but it's not that it wasn't constructive, it's that that to me felt hurtful. It was like, well, he's blaming me. He's telling me I'm dumb. He's telling me I'm bad. But if you had like rallied next to me and said, let's do this together. Like, we want our marriage to look like this. So we're going to do this thing differently and we're not going to get mad and blame and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see how that's different, I guess?
I do.
What else are your thoughts on it? Because I think there's a lot to say here, but...
Yeah, well, let's see. Ask differently, remove blame, guilt, shame, finger pointing. Yeah, okay. So... like you said, how we're kind of acculturated as men, in at least the United States, Western culture, and acculturated as women. I think that it is hard to. We don't want to take personal accountability, right? Like, you didn't want to hear all the stuff you were doing wrong. It was actual things you were doing wrong that was damaging to the relationship, but you didn't want to hear it, right? So we have to kind of prime our minds to ask, can I do something differently? Can I think about it differently? The things I've been thinking for 20 years or however long it was before we got married, are those okay to think? I remember being like probably 23 and your dad asking me, hey, what's your worldview? And I was like, what? What is a worldview, right? So it's like thinking and understanding and seeing there is a way bigger world than just what you grew up in, right?
Yeah.
And especially, we talked about it before with family of origin stuff. It's way bigger than even the family of origin that you join with, right? So I don't know, I'm kind of confusing and rambling, but being open to new things, the way that you do it, because you've done it a long time, doesn't mean it's right. Be open to new things. If your spouse is giving you unhelpful, criticism, there's some truth to that. So I would just say, write down all the things that they say, like, hey, you're negative.
No, stop
I'm serious.
it. You're not.
I'm serious.
I'm going to karate chop you.
And then think about it.
Hold on for 1 second.
Okay.
Listen, because what I'm saying is we're approaching all of this stuff the wrong way.
Right.
Don't write down everything your partner says that's bad about you. Approach it with a different aggression that is positive and outward. Yes, be aggressive about not like having a sucky, dumb marriage. No one thinks of it that way. Everyone's like, oh, I gotta go get therapy, or oh, my husband's so whoa. It's like, do something about it.
But what I'm saying,
get off of the couch. Start working on it like a team.
Yes.
Don't just be like, well, and like fold your arms and wave your finger at your partner, right? Because that's what we were doing to one another forever. Right. I would do it to you, and you would do it to me. And it was deflating. It was like at
an impasse.
Yeah, it was like you had a balloon that could float up into the sky, but you're like, oh yeah? Well, you're negative.
Right.
Right? And so then now we're both just sinking all the time.
Right.
And so many people do that because it's in our culture all the time. Right. Blaming and shaming for like behaviors that you don't enjoy.
So can I say one thing that can be empowering? Hey,
sure,
Mary.
Go ahead.
When I said write down all the negative things or the things that your spouse is saying about you that you don't like, there is some truth in those. It's not going to be 100% true and always true, but have an open mindset and go, oh, my spouse does tell me I'm negative, or I have not a positive mindset, or whatever. Okay, what is the truth in those things?
Yes.
And you're going to do this when you're like centered and not like kind of pissed off.
I would say write it down and be positively aggressive about getting better. So thank you for joining us this morning, and go to ultimateintimacy.com to check out the Ultimate Intimacy app. It's amazing. And please rate and review the podcast on iTunes if you like what we're doing. And we can't wait to see y'all tomorrow. You're going to have an amazing day. I'm going to have an amazing day. The only thing on my to-do list today is slay all day.
Slay all day. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to slay some pastries.
Okay. All right. Have a good morning.
All right. Bye, guys.